kind of in a rush today. We have to pack all this stuff up, go pick up my sister, and then drive like an hour and a half to Lodi, where the wedding is. So we're doing this Q&A on the go. First question, I've been to 2 starter nests, and at night they both changed to Blvd. Have you heard similar reports with other nests? I have heard anecdotally throughout the course of Pokemon Go's existence that it seems like some nests do change species at night. We don't have any confirmation of that actually happening. It's always possible that you just show up at a time where the nest Pokemon isn't spawning very frequently, and you see a lot of a different species of Pokemon instead at that time. Of course, it is also possible that the nests do change to something else at night. Now, the fact that they're both Blvd is more than likely just a coincidence. So just remember with nests, the species of Pokemon at a nest is determined, as far as we know, randomly. So if you think you see a pattern, like I remember before Gen 2 came out, a lot of people were asking things like, oh, all the nests around me changed to Scyther, Onix, Poliwag, Slowpoke. Those are all Pokemon that evolve in Gen 2. Do you think they're getting us ready for Gen 2 by, making those candies available? Well, the answer is, it's probably just a coincidence because, one, that's one area out of the entire world, and the entire world's nests didn't change to Pokemon that evolve in Gen 2. So just remember, if you think you see a pattern, more than likely it's a coincidence, but we are going to look a little bit more into these changing nests based on time of day. So if anyone knows of any in the LA area, or anywhere in California, I'm willing to take a trip for it, let me know, give me some evidence so I don't show up blind. Send me some screenshots, preferably multiple screenshots, both during the day and at night, showing different species of Pokemon, and I'll try to look into it. And of course, if anyone out there has experienced something similar and documented it, of course, please send me that evidence as well.
Let me ask you a question. What's next?
Instead of schlepping all our stuff up and down San Francisco hills, I'm just gonna go pick up the car, bring it closer. The thing that scares me about having a full bag all the time is that I might miss out on an evolution item drop. So I'm just constantly tossing Pokeballs. 7 day, oh, I forgot it's day 7 today. Is this where I parked? Nope. Next one? Actually, I think I'm a block over. So at the end of the day yesterday, I was wondering why I hadn't hatched any eggs. I opened up my eggs to check my progress. Turns out I didn't have them in incubators all day. With all the walking we did, I definitely could have hatched quite a few of these. But that brings me to the next question, which is, with the recent discoveries about eggs, do you still recommend using the Infinite for 2Ks only? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Always use your Infinite incubator for 2-kilometer eggs. And the reason is simple math. Let's say you use your Infinite incubator on a 10-kilometer egg. During the time that you hatch that 10-kilometer egg in your Infinite incubator, you're gonna be able to hatch 5 2-kilometer eggs, but you're gonna have to use paid incubators to do that. That's 5 uses of an incubator while your Infinite is hatching 1 egg. Meanwhile, if you put that 10K in a regular incubator, you could hatch 5 2K eggs with your Infinite. So you're hatching the same amount of eggs, 6 eggs, but you're only using up 1 charge of a paid incubator rather than 5. Here's the car. Checked in, it turns out like my entire family is staying at this hotel. I mean, not entire family, I have a massive family, but a lot of them are staying here. Anyway, now that we're here, let's continue with the Q&A. One question that I get asked a lot, is what determines the team that the game chooses for you when you first go to battle a gym? And honestly, the answer is, I don't know. No one really knows at this point. But I can tell you don't pay attention to it at all. It seems like it's some combination of a little bit of type effectiveness, a little bit of highest CP, but the truth is, the Pokemon that it chooses for you are almost never the best choice, so ignore it, don't worry about it. I've recommended plenty of resources that you can use to actually find the best Pokemon to use. Oh, shoes. First of all, let me apologize if the fridge is making too much noise. It's a fridge. Oh god, I'm choking. Quick question I want to answer. Yesterday you told us that it's better to prestige with Pokemon with high HP and defense. Could you explain this with math? I love math. I don't have a ton of time to go into the details, but let me explain it this way. Attack is weighted more heavily in the CP formula than HP and defense are, so every point of base attack is actually worth more than 1 point of base defense or 1 point of base HP. And since training is completely based around CP, you want to use Pokemon with lower CP than the Pokemon you're training against. So as an example, we'll look at 2 electric types. Jolteon is the best overall electric type as an attacker, but GamePress recommends Lantern as the best electric type for training as a prestiger. Now I'm doing these calculations based off of Lantern's max CP, which you'll never actually be using to train, but it should scale pretty equally as you bring the Pokemon's level down. So at level 40, Lantern's max CP is 2077. To get a Jolteon of comparable CP, the closest I could get to was 2067, and that's a level 26.5 Jolteon. So to have equal CP, Lantern is level 40, Jolteon level 26.5. And at those levels, their stat totals are a little bit different. Jolteon's stats at level 26.5 add up to about 418. Lantern's stats at level 40 add up to about 463. So Lantern has a higher stat total, meaning if they have the same moves, Lantern is actually going to be more efficient at about 2000 CP than Jolteon is. Jolteon's attack stat is still higher than Lantern's, but Lantern has such high HP that it's going to have better survivability. Again, better stat total, meaning over the course of its life, at 2000 CP, it's going to deal more damage using the same moves than a Jolteon would before fainting. So typically, in terms of CP efficiency for training, Pokemon with lower attack stats are going to be better, and that's just because of the way that attack is weighted in the CP formula. So I'll put a link in the description to Pokemon Go Hub's list, their article of best prestigers, recommended prestigers against the Pokemon that you're going to find most commonly in gyms, and you'll see that for the most part, aside from obviously Blissey where you need to use Machamp regardless, the best prestigers are not always going to line up with the best attackers of that type. I hope that explains that. I'll also link to damage mechanics, damage formula stuff if you want to learn about the math on that, and that's going to be from GamePress. I've been getting a lot of questions about Save Your Candies. What does it mean? Was it related to a St. Patrick's Day event? We found out that it wasn't. Will it be related to an Easter event? Who knows? Is it related to the gym rework? It could be, but the truth is I'm pretty much done saving my candies. I would probably be doing evolutions today if this was a regular Q&A, but at this point I'm not really willing to limit my Pokemon Go experience in anticipation of something that may or may not even be coming at any point in the future. I sort of said the same thing about the gym rework and how I don't really feel like battling gyms until the rework happens because in its current state it's really not that great. But the truth is, it was fine beforehand. Obviously I had my complaints about it, but knowing that something better is coming sort of ruined the present state for me. So that's it. From this point forward in Pokemon Go and in life, I'm not going to limit what I'm doing in the present in hopes that something better comes along in the future. So by all means, continue to save your candies if you like to, but for me, I'm pretty much just erasing that from my memory because we really have no idea what it means or when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen. Okay, I have time for one quick question before we actually go. The question is, can you see me? I always do this. Should Niantic create their own Pokemon outside of existing generations? And the answer is, that's probably never going to happen. No new Pokemon have ever been introduced outside of the main series games. They're always introduced through new generations. They might make short appearances in other games in the anime, in Pokemon movies,
but they always get introduced as generations in the main series, so it's possible that in the future, if Pokemon Go survives, we might get a little preview of new Pokemon in Pokemon Go before they actually get released in the main series, but I don't think Niantic will ever have the free reign to create their own Pokemon. Sorry. Also, one more question. What kind of camera is Cassie using? It's this. It's a Sony A5100. It's got the selfie screen, but can't put a mic on it.